Baskets Podcast.
Welcome back. This time it's Coach Aaron Mitchell again here with me. I'm very happy to have you here again.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
How's the current season going?
Going well. Going well. I mean, we're a little bit of ahead of progress, and it's moving very well. We're starting to get a little bit healthier. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next games.
Perfect. So in this episode, it's episode 2 with Coach Aaron Mitchell here.
Yeah.
We want to dive even deeper and find out more about Chiemgau Baskets and especially about you. So first thing, a job as a coach. To be honest, if the team doesn't perform well, it's you getting kicked out of the game or of your position. So
Yes.
you will be fired. So why
Yes.
do you like being a coach and being in this kind of situation?
Well, first of all, I've lived my life that way. I played 16 years, 11 countries. And so every day that could happen. And when you choose something that you're passionate about, you don't look at failure as a bad thing. You look at failure as a learning experience. And so in choosing this, I knew the pressures that would come with it. But at the same time, I experienced so much as a player, the knowledge of being in success and being in failure, I'm not afraid of at all.
That's good to hear. So I really enjoy watching the games. It's really nice, and the emotions are really high. So emotions are boiling, especially when you think that the referee is working against you. I really can imagine that it's hard to deal with that.
Yeah.
So tell us something. How do you deal with your emotions in the game? What about this topic?
Well, the main thing is that I try to channel the emotions in a direction that it doesn't affect the players. I want to make sure that they know that their leader is not going to lose his emotional side, because it's very easy to coach a group which is in control. And as a coach, losing my emotions will cause problems not only for the players, but it'll cause problems for my team. So I always want to put us in a situation where we can succeed and have the best chance to succeed. But it also helps that I am a referee. So I understand the thought patterns of it. I understand the decisions you have to make in less than 1.5 seconds. So you can't get caught up in it. I tell the guys, it's us against the world, and we're going to play this game whether there's referees there or not.
Okay, so do you work to control the emotions of the players also in the training, or so what do you talk to your players? Because so
Yeah.
in this games, when I see there's sometimes situations where I really can see the emotion of the player, and for example, last game or some games before, one player didn't just put the ball on the field but just throw it away,
Yeah.
and I thought, yeah, you are really in this emotion right now, and to really regulate this really tough. So how
It
can we
is.
so
It
do you really
is.
work on this topic?
Yes, because that comes into the coaching part, into the individual relationships that you have to establish with your players. I think I said it once before to you. I always treat my players fair, but never the same, because the players have to have an understanding of their own life, and I have to give them the freedom to be themselves, because it's not fair for me to expect them to be a robot in an emotional team sport. It's just impossible to do. So what I try to do is I put them in situations in practices where I pretend to be that bad referee so that they can get prepared for it when it's going to happen in the game. And how you respond to that, remember, you're playing for the name in the front. We don't have our individual names on the back. So play for the name in the front. Your brothers need you on the floor. We need your mind in the gym. We need your whole atmosphere to be clear so that everyone can succeed.
Hi, bevor es gleich weitergeht, kommt hier noch ein wichtiger Hinweis von mir. Das Studio, in dem wir gerade aufnehmen, ist komplett neu. Und das Beste, du kannst es selber nutzen. Ganz egal, ob für deinen eigenen Podcast, ein Interview oder einfach um deine Geschichte zu erzählen. Und zur Eröffnung des Studios haben wir eine ganz besondere Idee. Und zwar, dass wir wohltätigen Vereinen die Möglichkeit geben wollen, das Studio zu nutzen, um über ihre Geschichten zu erzählen, über ihr Angebot zu sprechen und über das, was sie eben leisten. Ja? Weil jeder, der Aufmerksamkeit braucht, auch ganz egal, ob für seine Produkte, seine Dienstleistung oder das, was er tut, der muss seine Geschichten erzählen. Und dafür ist das Studio konzipiert. Also wenn du jemanden kennst, der Aufmerksamkeit braucht oder der was Tolles anbietet, sag's gern weiter. So, und jetzt weiter geht's. So there are two parts. You are trainer and coach. Can you tell us the difference, or how do you divide these two parts?
Well, the coaching part is it has so much. You know, you're a psychiatrist, you're a doctor, you're a father, you're a teacher, you're sometimes a brother, sometimes you're a best friend. You have to manage these things because you get these relationships with these players and they bring all that to the table. They bring it all to the gym, inner training, a bad day at work, a tough day at school. You have to be able to be flexible to allow them to get this out of their system, because that's the one good thing about basketball. It gives you a chance to get this out of your system and you can run. We're very lucky to be in a sport which has around 300 plays per game. So for us to sit there and let one play change our entire world, the next one's coming in 3 seconds. So that's the good thing about it, as far as for the coaching part. The training part is just evaluating their skill. Evaluating who's a good jumper, who's a great defender, who's a good offensive player. How can I help a bad offensive player become a good offensive player? How can I work with a bad defensive player and make him a better defender? How can I make all 5 of them work together as one? And that is the challenging part of the training part. That comes with skill, that comes with knowledge of the game and playing the game on the levels that I played. I'm very blessed and lucky to have been able to play all those years in so many countries, but I was a student. I wrote everything down, everything that my coaches said, everything that they did. I asked questions, why? Because I knew my time would come when I would become a coach, and I wanted it to be parts of all those coaches to create me. I didn't want to just take the one part of one coach and not the others, because all my coaches, no matter how I was treated, I got some information from.
So must be a big book now.
It's huge. It's huge. It's very big. And I'm still in contact with some to learn,
really?
And to continue the learning process, because I don't claim I know it all.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there closely.
So would you say it's what is harder, to be a coach or to be a trainer, or is it?
I think it's harder to be a coach because you have to deal with the personalities of people. And if you don't learn how to be a people's person, how to handle those situations, then you won't get the best out of that player, no matter how much you train them. I can show you all the skills with a basketball, but if I don't work on your skills in your head, then it's all for nothing. And so I want to make sure that I have the mix of both, that all my guys know that Coach A is always going to be there on their side.
Yeah. So I think you cannot be a perfect coach every day. So what are the biggest mistakes you can do as a coach?
The biggest
or you did as a coach.
The biggest mistake expecting more out of some players when they weren't capable to do that. I think that was one of my biggest mistakes. I always tell people, when people show you who they are, believe them. If you show me the kind of person you are, I'm going to believe you. I'm not going to sit there and try to change you into something that you're not. But I can help you improve in certain areas. And that should be the goal for me as a coach, is to try to get my players to get the best out of their ability. But they have to have a clear head for me to do that. So that's where the information of coaching comes in. And by being in so many countries and these different mentalities I had to deal with, from religion to all kind of different things, I learned, I watched, and I studied. And I got them all together to where when it's possible to use it and when it's possible to just let it go by. So I had both sides of it to work with.
So are there sessions where you just talk to your players? So individually or as a team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, many times. Usually the nights before a game. Because it's a tactical time, mental side, and you're trying to get to make sure that everybody understands what the plan is for tomorrow.
Okay.
And so there's no coming into the hall thinking that coach is going to change anything. It's new. It's not. We've worked on it. We practiced several different plans throughout the week. And then usually the night before the game, I come up, or the night before the last practice, I'll come up with which plan I want to use. And so it gives me about 4 days, 5 days to really see where we are injury-wise, where we are players-wise, and then I can decide on which tactic, which plan to go with, because I have some situations where one player cannot play on that Saturday. He becomes sick on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So that plan may have to go away and come up with the second plan. So it all works together.
Talking about understanding, so English is not the native language of all these kids. So do you think the talking just in English is a barrier, or is there even positive effects on it?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it opens up the doors to educate kids to become bilingual. I do understand a lot in terms of the German side of it.
Oh, really?
Not in terms of where I'm going to talk it and speak it to a point where they're comfortable. I want them to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes any sense to you. Because I want them to understand comfort only brings arrogance. It brings too much confidence. When you're uncomfortable, you learn to work. You want to work. You want to get better. Because it's just uncomfortable being in this bad place. Our players have to understand that. And with the kids, the one thing that I made a promise to their parents when we first came was that I would speak English with them. I would speak only English with them because I needed them to understand that we're going to give your kid not only basketball knowledge, but we're going to give them some education as well. And the kids love it because my English is a bit slower. So it's not as fast as a typical American would speak. So a lot of people understand me in terms of wanting to practice their English on me. So it's okay. I enjoy
English
it.
teachers loves you.
Yes, for sure.
So talking about stepping out of the comfort zone or going into something that's not comfortable, let's talk about criticizing the players. I think it's hard, and you have to do it kind of right in the right way. How do you do that? How can you handle this situation, criticize?
That's where the individual relationship comes in. You see, players can take hard coaching or criticism when it's constructive, when it has something to do with what we're trying to accomplish. And that's where the individual relationship comes. I need to know about your families. I want to know about your girlfriend. I want to know about your mom, your dad, your job, what you're studying in school. Then they get the mutual respect. So when Coach A's voice changes from what it is now, you know I've done something wrong. I have to correct it. So they get an understanding of what we are and what I'm about. And so coaching them harder, it's easy because of the relationship part. And I think the kids respect that fact that they want to be coached. I'm very lucky to coach a group that wants to be coached. That some of them need to be coached. And that for me makes the job easier.
Let's talk a little bit about the game. So how did modern basketball change versus when you played? Did it?
Changed tremendously.
Yeah.
The game, when I played, the game was a bit more constructive. It was designed to have basically a bigger size in terms of height and in terms of playing power basketball, working from the inside to the outside. Now we've reached where it's positionless and everyone is playing everywhere.
Okay.
You know, when I came to Europe the first time, I was brought in to be a point guard, which is the leader of the team and to be there. And through the years, I went from point guard to shooting guard to playing the forward position I had to play everywhere. And it started to evolve. And you could see it because the three-point percentage started to go. And the three-pointer has changed everything. I was one of the very last ones my high school, I didn't have the three-point shot.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. But the funny thing is, I hit the very first three-pointer in the state of Louisiana, in all of my state. It was an all-star game. I was an all-star, and that introduced me to the three-point line. I didn't have the three-pointer in high school.
Really?
No. And so when I got to the NBA, it was this way. And then I went off to play in all these different leagues and had to experience the three-pointer. I didn't know how to respond to that because I was still in the other modes. And so the games evolved with the three-point shot. And like I said, it's positionless now. You have big guys which are bringing the ball, who can handle the ball, like guards. Guards are playing inside. You have a lot of different type of tactics where players are designed. You're running plays for people you didn't think that you could run it for. You got a 2'10" guy bringing the ball up the floor now. So it's different. It's just different, but more exciting for me because tactically it's very hard to adjust to some of these situations because it's just unusual to have somebody 2'5" with the ball up top. You're used to a power guy being down low, and so it's I enjoy it actually. I really enjoy it. I would have loved to play in this era. This era would be perfect for me.
Yeah.
Because I was extremely athletic, and the way the game is and the speed of the game is right now, I would have enjoyed this. Really would have enjoyed it. Yeah.
I have one last question regarding your training. Are there any training methods you use to make your players better or to even motivate them for the game?
Yeah, it's a lot of times it's a lot of shooting trainings. Because the one part of basketball you can never do enough is shooting. You have to shoot the ball. I can run them on the street. I can take them to the mountains. I can make them jump over boxes. I can make them do all kind of different things. But shooting the basketball has to be similar to waking up and having breakfast. You don't think about it. You just do it.
Yeah.
And for a basketball player, it's the most critical part of the game. And so when a player is shooting well, I keep a chart and monitor it to make sure that he's got his confidence for that Saturday. Because the one thing about coaching is that there's an awful lot of work that happens from Sunday to Friday. And then Saturday comes, and then we as coaches get judged for it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's every sport. You know, you go to soccer games, you know, they see these $1 million players. You see it in Bayern Munich. You see it in all these they sign all these players, and they lose a game and say, well, why did they lose? They paid the money for them. They did this, they did that. But they don't understand the work, the hours, the minutes, the seconds, the tactic, the head, all these things that what a head coach has to do to make it all work. You just don't buy a pizza like you go into the store and put it in the oven. Yeah. No, I got to make the cheese. I got to get the salami. I got to get the dough. I got to get everything. And so when you put it all together and then you throw shooting involved with it, that's the topping. And now I got my pizza made and it's ready for Saturday.
With the pizza thing, I have so much more questions now. I'm very happy and very excited that you took the time to talk about all the aspects of the game. And I'm really looking forward to episode 3. To welcome you back again here. And probably you have some questions to Aaron Mitchell also. You can send it to us and bring it on the table. Thank you for coming over. And
my pleasure. My pleasure. And I want to personally invite all the Chiemgau family to come to our games. We need your support. We want your support. And it's just critical for our success.
See you next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chiemgau Baskets Podcast.